Okay, I'm just going to start recording. This is Lisa Scott, your online womanpreneur's guide to gaining clarity in life and in business. Um, assisting, I'm sorry, just one second. I'm sorry, assisting you to gain clarity in your thoughts and in your actions. And this is my very first time on Blab, so I am extremely excited and just learning how to use this. So I am like, wow, this is exciting. I've been on an actual interview before, but never been on Blab, actually hosting my own show like this. So this is extremely exciting. So I'm actually kind of just waiting for people to show up if they do, but I'm talking about how I use free conference call and SoundCloud in my business. And I'm actually going to share this link right now to a group that actually caused me to want to do this right now. So I'm just going to go over to that group and share that I am here right now for any questions that they may have. And this is awesome. I guess this is how you share the link. This is fun because I don't know what I'm doing and I love it. Because I don't know what I'm doing. So this is great. So I'm just kind of sitting here playing around, having a great time with Blab so I can figure out what the heck to do. I started a Blab. I joined the Blab. I went on air. And this is absolutely incredible. So I'm talking about how I use free conference call and SoundCloud in my business. And because I wanted to specifically answer some questions from some people that are in a group, but they didn't know I was going on air. So actually, I'm kind of just hanging out, waiting to see if anybody shows up from that group. I just shared a link to let them know that I am here online to answer any questions. And I'm only going to give this a couple of minutes before I shut it down, actually, because I don't want to be sitting here talking to myself. I actually wanted to answer some questions. But anyway, what I will do is I decided to actually open up SoundCloud and free conference call. The title of this is how I use free conference call and SoundCloud in my business, because it turns out that a lot of people don't necessarily know how to use free conference call, or that even free conference call even exists, and sometimes free conference call or SoundCloud. And a lot of times when we are doing certain things in our business, we can take for granted that the skill set that we have, that everybody knows that information, and come to find out that is not the case. There are a lot of people out there who don't know the information that you know. So it's important that we share and get the information out there to those who actually are looking for that information. So I'm going to hang out here for just a little while longer. And again, just see who kind of shows up or who doesn't. Nobody knew that I was going to be here, so in all fairness, I'm going to give it a chance. But this is Lisa Scott, your online womanpreneur's guide to gaining clarity in life and in business, assisting you to align your thoughts with your actions and your desired outcomes. So just kind of hanging out on Blab, and I'll see who's coming. And again, this is how I use free conference call and SoundCloud in my business. So I'm not sure. Okay, so I'll just share a little bit. Um, Not too long ago, I'm going to say about a year ago, I was introduced to SoundCloud by an internet marketing mentor of mine. I happened to notice that he was using SoundCloud, something that I had never heard of before. And when I saw how he was using it, or actually he was being interviewed on this platform called SoundCloud. So I saw, this platform for the first time, and I thought it was awesome. And so I'm one of those people that when I see something I like and I see something that resonates with me, I just decide to, go and feel it out, play with it, see whether or not, it's actually going to be useful for me, how it resonates with me. And so I decided to go over and play around with this platform called SoundCloud. And it has been absolutely incredible for my business. It's an audio recording platform where you can actually either through your laptop, your computer, or through your cell phone, because SoundCloud actually has an app, you can actually record yourself and upload whatever you have recorded immediately. So actually, after you record and SoundCloud, oh, hi, thank you for joining. I'm just kind of hanging out. I started this how I use free conference call and SoundCloud in my business because there's a group that I belong to. And it turns out that a lot of people in that group were not familiar with how to use free conference call and SoundCloud. They had never really even heard of free conference or SoundCloud. They were looking for ways to use audio platforms, or looking for various audio platforms so that they can create digital products. And so I happen to use free conference call and SoundCloud, and I do create digital products. Thus far, I was creating free digital products so that I could get to use these systems in various ways, but they have been invaluable to my business. SoundCloud is an audio platform, a platform where you can record either music or you can record yourself, and you can upload that information to SoundCloud by either recording through your laptop, your computer, or your cell phone, because SoundCloud actually has an app that you can download onto your phone. And then once you're done recording, you can upload that information immediately online. And because SoundCloud has its own community, you actually begin to gain followers within the SoundCloud community. But what's really incredible about SoundCloud is that every single time you upload a recording onto SoundCloud, you are actually provided a shareable link. And this is what makes SoundCloud extremely valuable as far as I'm concerned, because a shareable link, obviously you can share that in any of your social media platforms. And actually, I wish that I knew how to do screen sharing here. But what I am going to do is I'm going to provide a link to you guys so you can actually see. So I'm just going to come off the screen just a little bit. I'm going to come off the screen and I'm going to share a shareable link inside of the message area so that you can actually see what I'm talking about here. So that's a shareable link that I can share anywhere on social media that I decide to share that link. The other thing I appreciate that you'll see when you hit that link is that I can upload any image that I decide to upload to represent whatever it is that I just recorded about. So what I do is I created an actual, it's like a flyer that has some basic information about my business. It has my image, it has my picture, and it has a little bit of information about what I do, who I am, what I do, and my website. And so obviously that's another invaluable piece of information that you can share or have attached to this, to your audio, because every time you share the link, you are actually sharing your business information as well. So that's another extremely invaluable piece that SoundCloud offers, is that you can change the image whenever you feel like it. So I might use or have a audio that I actually did, and perhaps I want to share a certain image at that time, but then later on I want to change the image to something else. And I do that all the time. If I, update my my business information, if I update my image, anything like that, I can go back and edit this information on SoundCloud. And here's the other piece that is really awesome about SoundCloud, is that you can provide, and I'm going over to SoundCloud so I can look, there is an area where you can provide a description of the track that you uploaded or that you recorded. Within that description, what I like to do is use as many, words that I believe, like SEO, as many SEO terms or whatever that will fit into that descriptive space. But what I also share within the descriptive or the description area is my website information. I share my website, I share my Facebook page, I share anything that I want people to be able to click that link and go somewhere and do something, perform an action. I actually provide that information within the description for SoundCloud. So you get the fact that you can upload information, you can provide information immediately through SoundCloud, you get a shareable link, you get to provide an image where you can actually put your business information on that image, and you get an area where you can actually describe exactly what your podcast is about, and you can provide links there as well. And actually, as far as SoundCloud, what has actually happened with me on more than one occasion, I don't advertise myself as a speaker, but whenever I share, not whenever I share, but pretty often when I share my podcast on social media platforms, I get invited to networking events. I've been invited on more than one occasion to be interviewed on people's blabs shows, on their podcasts, through the fact that I'm sharing this information through SoundCloud. So actually, one other piece that I forgot to mention is that SoundCloud does allow you to go on to SoundCloud and use it. Just play around with it for free. It gives you up to a certain amount of minutes where you can actually just play with SoundCloud. And then after you've used that certain amount of minutes, which I forgot, how many minutes that is, but after you've used that certain amount of minutes, then you have to decide which tier you actually want to purchase. And the fees are actually pretty low. They're pretty nominal fees for what you get in terms of your ability to market and advertise your business using SoundCloud. So that's SoundCloud. Free conferencing. I actually use free conferencing. I've been using free conferencing for years. I use it to create webinars. I have people call in to free webinars through free conferencing. You are not provided an actual link through free conferencing, or are you? Now that completely has gone out of my head. But free conferencing has allowed me to create webinars and share that information also in various social media platforms, which have also got me speaking opportunities as a result of using free conferencing. I actually right now have a weekly group coaching call, which I host through free conferencing. So I have people from the East Coast and the West Coast who call into free conferencing and, just coming through the free conferencing line. And I provide an automatic, actually, when you're done, if you actually decide to record on free conferencing, I automatically provide them with a copy of that recording. And yes, you do get a link. Now that I just said that, you actually get a link for free conferencing as well. So once I'm done with the recording, which I control everything. I'm actually able to have the entire audience be quiet until I'm ready to open the lines up and speak. I'm able to keep the lines open. There's all kinds of indicators as far as people entering into the line. You can have it count how many people are coming into the line. But you'll have to go on free conferencing to actually see all the details behind all of the ways that free conferencing allows you to control the environment that you are speaking in. As I said, right now, I use free conferencing for a weekly group coaching call that I'm doing, and it works absolutely wonderfully. That is a paid membership where I record the call. We're on the line for about 2 hours a week. And as soon as I'm done recording that call, I provide my membership with a copy of the link, and it uploads immediately. It gives you a report of everybody that was sitting there within the call. It tells you how long people were on the call. So it gives you all of that behind the scenes data that you might be interested in paying attention to as a business owner, because you want to know, what was going on during the call that you perhaps can't necessarily pay attention to while you're on the call. But the other thing that I was able to do through free conferencing is they actually have a component where you can actually do screen sharing while you are on your conference call. So people can actually call in and listen to you on free conferencing while actually looking at slides. So if you do a PowerPoint presentation, you can upload that PowerPoint presentation into the free conferencing platform. And when you have to kind of get used to the process, because initially the process can seem a little complex, but it's only because you have to get used to something that you're not used to doing. So I've actually done my actual launch of my group coaching membership was done through free conferencing, where I had a slide presentation that I did through PowerPoint that I uploaded into the free conferencing platform. And at the same time, people were able to either listen in, just listen without seeing the slides, or they can listen in and view the slides at the same time while I was recording through free conferencing. And when it was all said and done, I had a shareable link. And let me back up just a little bit, because during the conference, just like here in Blab's platform, where you have the little side area where people can send messages and interact with you, that's the same exact process that is used in free conferencing, where people can ask questions and make comments during your recording your video and being on the phone. After the conference was over, I had a shareable link that I shared with those who decided to join the membership. But here's the kicker, guys, that I didn't even think about until it was all said and done. I actually decided that I was going to take that link, that I created a Facebook event where I told people that this was a pre-recorded launch. And I simply provided the link inside of a Facebook event and allowed people to come into the Facebook event and click that link whenever they decided to. So I kept the event open for something like a week. And, obviously you need to determine how long you want to keep the event open. But I kept the event open on Facebook for something like a week, and people just went and listened to the launch. So I didn't have to do another follow-up launch, and then another follow-up launch, because I recorded the launch that I had already done and simply let people know that it was a pre-recorded audio and PowerPoint presentation that they were about to listen to. And then every single time that somebody clicks the link, you are made aware that somebody actually listened to your recording, and you're told how long they were there, that type of thing. So you're given the data that you're looking for to see, whether people are actually listening to your event. So I just think that repurposing and resharing information is one of the most valuable things that we can do for our business. Instead of recreating something all the time, we want to look for ways that we can utilize our information. Let me just share this short story with you about how I used something that I recorded on SoundCloud a year ago. I decided that I was going to be doing a Coaching for Coaches membership. And prior to creating the Coaching for Coaches membership, which I just created a couple of months ago, I realized that I had created a Q&A session over a year ago that I recorded through free conferencing and then uploaded into SoundCloud. So this is how awesome this stuff is. I had done a Q&A session for new coaches, new and established coaches that had questions, because I'd gotten a lot of questions from people asking me different questions about becoming a coach. So I did a Q&A session that was live through free conferencing. I recorded that session. And then when I decided to do the Coaching for Coaches membership, I first shared the Q&A session, the link that was provided to me through SoundCloud. I shared that as a prelude or precursor, so to speak, so that people would know what type of information that I do share as a coach. And without me doing any work whatsoever, I received my first Coaching for Coaches member because she listened to that link, which was recorded over a year ago. So I hope that I am expressing with as much importance to repurpose, to make sure that you're using these types of platforms for your business, because once you put information out and you record that information, and it's awesome to have an audience because you have that interaction. But even if you do not have an audience and you just have important information to share for your business, once you record that information, you don't have to do it again. And one of the reasons why, this is another important piece of information, and I need to go over to SoundCloud real quick just to look at the numbers. I'm going to go look at the stats of how many people. So just today, I have one play today on a particular particular podcast that I did. A play yesterday. 3 plays on another. So there's a back office to SoundCloud where you can go and you can look at stats, where it'll actually show you how many people are looking at your information, which podcasts they're looking at, and what countries they're coming from. So I have something like, and let me just look at the stats really quickly.
So that's not going to work?
And just because I'm looking for it, I'm not seeing it.
Yes.
He is later, Robin.
When?
I am live. Can you stop talking? My daughter's trying to talk to me, guys, while I'm live on Blab, like all over the world. Okay, so I have 2,627 plays in total on various brief podcasts that I've done, This is the podcasts that are on SoundCloud on my page, now that I'm thinking about this also, are where I have decided that when I get inspired to share information, I like to share it immediately. And SoundCloud is awesome for that because, as I said in the beginning of this, that there is a SoundCloud app that you can download onto your phone, so you can record right from your phone and upload right from your phone onto the SoundCloud website. I like to be able to record right when I'm inspired to do so. So initially, my intention was to record what I call information, inspiration, and revelation through the SoundCloud platform. But what I started to realize also is that any interviews that I am doing or have done, I can also upload those interviews onto SoundCloud. So I have interviews that I've done through other people's, podcasts, or through their, whatever platform they were using to record an interview with me. Then I uploaded that information onto SoundCloud, which again, you get a shareable link. This is one of the most valuable pieces that SoundCloud provides, is a shareable link. So I upload whatever interviews I do, and I also host periodically a mastermind call where hundreds of entrepreneurs from all over the world are present on that mastermind call. So whenever I get the copy, the link, or the MP3 to that mastermind call, I also upload that information onto SoundCloud. So basically, whatever platforms my business is being represented in terms of an interview, in terms of a podcast, just any information that I can gather or that I've been a part of, been invited on interviews or whatever. And I'm looking over here. SoundCloud is a platform. It's used by podcasters and entertainers, musicians. It looks like it was originally intended for people that wanted to share their music online. It looks like that was its original intention. But now there are podcasters, people that have regular, podcast shows on SoundCloud. But basically, it's a platform where you can record yourself. So you can do an audio recording, and it provides a shareable link for your business so that you can share it all over social media. And I am located in the New Jersey area. Somebody asked if I'm located in DC. No, I'm located in New Jersey. And so, once you get a shareable link that you can share all over your different social media platforms, and that's back to what I wanted to talk about in terms of the stats and how I was telling you guys that I have over 2,000 plays on my stuff. The reason I have that many plays on my stuff is because I don't just share information one time. I've learned through being online since 2011 that you don't just share information one time. You have to get creative and realize that what you have shared, even though you may have shared it once, you're gaining new followers, you're gaining new friends, you're putting yourself in new groups. You're on various social media platforms. So just because you shared that information one time, and as you can imagine, social media has, potentially millions of people from all over the world in these various platforms. So you must share your information over and over again. Now, you might not want to share it daily, but you definitely, and I don't share my information daily, but if I'm in various groups and I kind of get a vibe for what that group is about, and whether or not I have already recorded something on SoundCloud, then I go and get my link. I make sure it's got the most updated information. as far as the images that I provide in terms of my business and the description, because I might have, just briefly did a description and thought that I captured what I was trying to say within that description the very first time I did it. But then I go back and look at the description again and I say, wait a minute, I could have, added a little bit more information, or I forgot to share my email list link, my email sign up link. I forgot to share my website link. So because you can always edit your information within the description on SoundCloud, this is what makes it invaluable. And you want to go back and check that information before you share it in your various social media platforms. So I share my links on LinkedIn. I share them in various groups. I share them on my business page, and just wherever I feel it's appropriate. Within an email, if I have, something I'm talking about and my SoundCloud, one of my SoundCloud podcasts seems relevant to the email that I'm sharing, I'll share the link then. So this is why I have over 2,000 plays, not just because the link is sitting there in the SoundCloud, on the SoundCloud website or within that platform, because you're competing, so to speak, within that arena as well. Just because you're there doesn't mean somebody's going to come and listen to your stuff. So when you are providing your descriptors, you want to make sure that you're using whatever people are searching on. Like for me, some of the things that people might be searching on have to do with anxiety. Because I'm a life and business coach, I want to use terms that people are going to search on, like anxiety, depression, So some of those tags, because you have to provide tags for all of your podcasts, you want to pay attention to the types of information that people are searching on that may lead them to your podcast, to your link. Does anybody have any questions so far? I know I'm sharing a lot of information. I'm hoping that you're hearing something that is relevant. Well, I know it's all relevant, but if you have any questions regarding free conferencing and or SoundCloud, so I can help you if you're not using these platforms to start using them and get comfortable with them, because they will be your best friend. I know there's other platforms out there, but obviously I can only talk to you about what I use. And I've been using these platforms for years. And again, they've assisted me to get speaking engagements, to have people sign up to my memberships. So a platform is only as good as you understanding what that platform is for, and actually how to get creative with that platform so that you can get the most out of it. I think a lot of times we sign up for different things and we may think, what's the value in using this, but you don't necessarily know all of the value because you're not using it to its fullest capacity. So one of my goals for all of the platforms that I, decide to get involved in is to make sure that I'm using those platforms to their fullest capability so that I'm getting the most out of them. And SoundCloud and free conferencing have been invaluable to my business. So I definitely wanted to stop by and share this information with people because, like I said in the beginning of this, before anybody was here, a lot of times we can take for granted as someone who's using a certain platform that other people automatically know that information, and come to find out that's not true. There's just as many people out there who don't know about free conferencing and SoundCloud as do know about it. So if you have any questions at this time, so DMX Sports Talk says that you use SoundCloud. Yeah. Thank you for answering that way before I saw it. I can't do two things at once. I'm learning how to do two things at once, DMX Sports. So thank you very much for answering that question. Does anybody, DMX Sports, do you have any examples that I may not have talked about as far as how you've used free conferencing or SoundCloud, or have I pretty much covered everything? And I think DMX Sports might have just left. Oh, no. Yeah, DMX Sports might have just left. So if you don't have any questions, I'm not going to belabor the blab here. I hear that blab goes on and on and on. But I just wanted to stop by, and I believe you can get a replay. This is my very first blab, guys, so thank you for joining me. So I believe that after I'm done with this recording, that you can listen to the replay. Pretty much in the beginning, I was just kind of waiting around to see who was going to show up. And so I'm so honored that you guys would spend this time with me, learning a little bit about free conferencing and SoundCloud. They are invaluable to my business. Oh, thank you. Oh, okay. Absolutely. Is that Linda Hillman? Thank you so much. Yeah. If you have any questions, please definitely first listen to the replay. And then if you have any questions, Linda, feel free to reach out to me. I don't know if we can talk to each other after the blab is over, but, you know, I'm on Facebook. I have a business page, Lisa Scott Coaching and Mentoring. So you can reach out to me there. And also my website, although we wouldn't talk about that on my website, but let me share my website, www.lisascott.org. So feel free to go and visit my page there. But if no one has any questions, I am going to stop the recording, and definitely if you listen to the replay, or once you listen to the replay, if you do have any questions, please feel free to reach out to me, Lisa Scott Coaching and Mentoring. I'm going to share this link there. Oh, thank you. Yes, yes, yes. We will hook up. And thank you so much for showing up. I can't wait until I do this again with another topic. And you know, I don't know if can I open the seat up or something here? Have I locked the seat? You guys got to tell me, because this is my first time. This is my first time doing this. I think the seat is open if anybody wants to pop out and get in the hot seat, they call it. I'll call it the love seat. Oh, it's open. Okay. Okay, it's open. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate it. I'm learning, guys. Oh, thank you for joining. This is so exciting for me. I love using new platforms because obviously, here we go, another shareable link. So I'm going to share this, you know, in different places so that, you know, we need to let people know that we're here in our businesses. And again, I can't state it enough. You know, think outside of the box. And thank you so much for those hearts, Linda. Thank you. I am on Periscope, although I think I'm going to be here a little more than Periscope. How do you follow people here? I think that there's a subscribe area or something. Linda, do you have the answer to that? Linda, you can help me out with this as far as how you follow people on here, because I'm new to blabs. This is my very first blab. I've been on other people's blab as an interviewee, but I have not hosted my first, I've not hosted a blab before. So this is my first blab. And I just wanted to say, everybody, just get creative. Think outside of the box in terms of these shareable links and these different platforms that we have the opportunity like never before to get our information out, to share who we are and what our businesses are about. Oh, thank you. Okay, I'll have to follow you too, and we'll chit chat back and forth, Linda. So thank you. I really appreciate you being here and supporting me and everybody who's here. Does anybody else have any questions? Oh, I was talking about thinking outside of the box. that has thinking outside of the box and deciding or saying, wow, I can use this link here. I can do this. I can do that. Oh, okay. This is your first time too. That's great. Well, welcome. It's my first time, your first time, everybody's first time. So I feel better. You're making me feel better about this. But I will definitely be hosting other blabs. I really like this environment, and I love the fact that there's a shareable link. When there's a shareable link, guys, we got to jump on that, because that is a awesome opportunity to be able to share your information with the world, with the globe. So, and that's exactly what has happened with me. Especially through, well, not especially through SoundCloud, but I'm going to hone in on SoundCloud because that's a platform that I knew nothing about, and just decided to jump in there and feel my way through, and now have over 2,000 plays on my podcasts from all over the world, countries I've never even heard of. I got to Google them because I never heard of these countries, yet somebody listened to my podcast. And you can look at the stats in the back office of your, once you create a profile on SoundCloud, you can always view the stats and see where people are downloading, what podcasts are they downloading, what, where's people's interests lie. As a matter of fact, I have one podcast. I'm going to pop over here to SoundCloud real quick. I have one podcast. Well, I have many, but there's a podcast called The Power of Your Subconscious Mind that has 196 plays on it, 14 downloads. So I like to look at, information like that, because this is one of my most listened to podcasts. So what I do is every so often, I reshare that link. I get a vibe for, certain groups that I'm in. And if I feel like that link is appropriate, then I share that link to keep, creating interest, because once you share a link, obviously you're creating interest. Okay. I'm just looking at the side and see what people are saying. Yeah, so you want to get real creative about sharing these links. You want to not share them. That's another thing. Don't share your links all over the place, because this goes back to understanding and knowing, what audience that you are speaking to. I happen to be a life coach, life and business coach. My specific audience is online womenpreneurs, guiding online womenpreneurs to gain clarity in life and in business, and assisting online womenpreneurs to align their thoughts with their actions and with their desired outcomes. So I'm not going to go into groups that have nothing to do with that and share my link, because there's a saying in marketing and advertising that if you start trying to talk to everybody, then in fact you're talking to nobody. So you want to understand who your audience is and whether or not there's going to be any interest in your information. So I'm not just saying to jump out there and share your links, anywhere, because your information is valuable, and you don't want that information to fall on deaf ears or ears that don't deem your information as valuable. So you want to make sure that you're sharing your information in groups and on platforms that are appropriate to the audience that you are trying to reach. So even if I share my information on Facebook, which I share all over Facebook, but I first share the link to my business page, and then from my business page, I share the entire post, so that I'm also advertising. Thank you so much, Linda. I appreciate that. I share the entire post from my business page to groups that I am a part of that I'm also advertising my business page, as well as advertising the shareable link or the podcast. So this is what's, generating interest and getting people to want. As a matter of fact, guys, I just recently, here's a piece of information. I did and this is along the lines of being creative with your information, and this has to do with Periscope. I just shared, or I just started, doing Periscope for the last couple of weeks. And I decided, okay, wait a minute. What is the easiest way to repurpose Periscope? And I found that I can repurpose Periscope by uploading it to YouTube. So I upload my Periscope videos to YouTube and then share the YouTube link in appropriate groups based on whatever the topic is that I'm talking about. Just recently, I had a young lady, probably within 5 minutes of me sharing my YouTube link, which was called the #1 reason why you want to repurpose your information in 2016. In 5 minutes or so, I had a young lady that I shared my link, into a women's business group. She contacted me through my online scheduling system and said, as a result of listening to my video, that she wanted me to be a part of a video summit. Do you do landscape or portrait to add to YouTube? Actually, that's a very good question. All I can tell you is that there's a portion of there's an area of your cell phone, I guess it's in your settings. I don't know if it's settings through the cell phone itself or settings through Periscope. I believe it's your phone. I have to find the YouTube video. But you open up your settings in whichever area, whether it's your cell phone or Periscope, and it automatically saves your Periscope video into the gallery of your cell phone. And then once I go and listen or look at the video within the gallery, you know how you can just normally share a video from your cell phone onto either Facebook, to wherever you want to share it to. That's how I upload it onto YouTube. So I don't see where there's an option as far as whether I'm doing landscape or portrait. I do that, but have not actually uploaded to YouTube yet. Okay, this automatically uploads it to YouTube. So I'm not sure what your process is, but as soon as I share, the YouTube button is actually sitting like right there. And when I go to upload it to YouTube, it does it immediately. I see it processing and everything right through YouTube. So I'm not sure what your process is, Linda. And maybe I have an Android, maybe our phones are different. Could that be the case? I'm not sure. I'll have to find the video and share the video with you. Maybe, of course, that'll help. So you can see how this gentleman did. But it was it's very simple. If it wasn't simple, I wouldn't be doing it. So, so it's very, very simple. So I just, like I said, Periscope just, there's an area, like I said, I cannot remember if it's through Periscope or, now I got to go look at my phone. And I'm probably not going to find it quick enough because I don't want to leave you guys hanging while I'm trying to figure that out. But I don't know if it's through, I think it's through Periscope that you do something with the settings so that it'll automatically save the video to your gallery on your phone. And then from the gallery, now I'm going to go to the gallery and see what this looks like. So wait a minute. See how right here, I'm going to show you. See how, and I don't know if you can see that because there's so much lighting, but right here is my Periscope videos. Here, wait a minute. from within my gallery. And then here it's going to start playing.
Hey everybody, this is Lisa Scott.
And then
Online Womenpreneur's Guide
here, wait a
to
minute.
Gaining Clarity in.
So right at the top of the screen where the video is, there's when you click on the video, there's a YouTube button. You just click on that and hopefully it'll do it. Oh, there we go. And it opens up. Here, wait a minute. Let me see if I can. There's too much lighting, guys. But it opens up for you to do all your title, your description, your tags, and all of that for your video. And then as soon as you press the arrow, it starts to upload it. Okay, you video portraits on YouTube. Okay, all right. Well, you helped me to figure that out. So that's how I do it. And then you watch it process and all of that. And then what I do is if I want to add some other information, or if I want to do a custom thumbnail, because you know how sometimes the image of yourself in the beginning is you know, an image that you don't like. So I'll change the thumbnail. I'll customize the thumbnail and do some other stuff on my laptop. But my objective is to get it out as quickly as possible. So I upload it, you know, from the phone initially, and then later on down the line, when I want to add more, you know, SEO words and all of that, I go to my laptop and do that. And it's the same with SoundCloud. SoundCloud has an app. And again, there's going to be too much lighting for you to see it on my phone, but there's an app right here. And I think it's right there. You click the app, and this is an Android phone again. On the lower left-hand side of the phone, it says record. You press record, and guys, it will not send the information automatically unless you tell it to. So I don't want anybody to get scared and think that as soon as you stop recording, it uploads. You have all of the opportunity to do some adjustments, but it's not as many adjustments on your phone as you can on your laptop, but it's enough that you can get it out and it looks professional and it's a good representation of your business. But if you want to do more, a little bit more, you want to go online and do that, because it's just better, you know, to get online and do it. But if you have an inspired thought, this is why I love SoundCloud. I could be riding down the street, and not that I record while I'm driving, but when you get an inspired thought, you don't want to have to wait, you know, to record that information. You want to pull over, or, you know, be in a space where you can share that information. Oh, good. Okay, thank you. You got it. Everybody got it. I'm glad you're seeing it better than it's being shown on the screen. But when you get an inspired thought, you don't want to have to wait and share that information. At least for me, that's how I feel. I believe this is why I found SoundCloud, because I needed, you know, to be able to share right at the time that my heart is inspired to share that information. I don't want to have to wait to do that. So I, you know, click on my little app, I start recording, and I don't have to do a thing after that. I can wait until I get home. I can, you know, whatever. But, you know, this is how, again, valuable SoundCloud is, because you can share information right at the time that you're inspired to do so. No, SoundCloud is a platform where you can record information, where you can share your thoughts. There are podcasters on SoundCloud. Let me go and see how they describe themselves instead of me trying to do it all the time. Let me, SoundCloud, let me look it up. And so it says an audio platform that enables sound creators to upload, record, promote, and share their originally created sounds. So that is what SoundCloud is. And Linda, I don't know if you were here at any portion where I was talking about how I use SoundCloud for my business. You can definitely re-listen to this and hear all of the ways that I use SoundCloud for my business. When you, you want to do that. You want to re-listen because I don't want to, re-say so much information, but it is an invaluable tool that I use for my business. And I was sharing with everyone that I have actually gotten speaking engagements as a result of utilizing SoundCloud and free conferencing. Does anybody have any questions about free conferencing? I didn't spend a lot of time because free conferencing it's not that it's pretty self-explanatory, but I use it in a self-explanatory way. I basically use it for any webinars that I want to do. If I want to do a webinar, I use free conferencing because you can record on free conferencing and you can invite as many listeners as you want to free conferencing. It provides a link for people to be able to go back and listen to that information. And on free conferencing, you can actually create a digital product using that link. SoundCloud, you cannot do that. Not directly from SoundCloud. If you're using a shareable link through SoundCloud, you cannot use that as a digital product to sell. You must be a quote unquote partner of SoundCloud, so to speak, before you can use a shareable link that belongs to SoundCloud. But guess what else? Guess what you can do? You can download, because this is your information. This is your original information. You can download the information onto your computer and create it as an MP3 on your computer and then create your digital product from there. I'm just saying that you can't use SoundCloud's link. It's because it's their process, their platform that's providing that link. You cannot use that to sell anything because it's a licensure type of issue. But free conferencing, you can actually use a free conferencing link and create a digital product from free conferencing. I have definitely done that. I have used free conferencing, as I said in the beginning of the call or the Blab conversation, that I actually launched a membership, 2 memberships, a group coaching membership and a the Coaching for Coaches membership came as a result of SoundCloud, but I wasn't selling anything. I was just sharing information that I had previously recorded. But for the coaching or the group coaching membership launch, I actually did, it was a live call. It was an actual launch of my product. It was a live call. I had done slides through PowerPoint and I uploaded them to the free conferencing platform. So it was a live call. It was just like this platform where people can jump in and communicate with me. We can, engage back and forth. That was being recorded as well. So anybody who saw the recording saw the engagement that was happening back and forth through free conferencing. And the slides were being, people could either call into the free conferencing call and just listen, or they could listen and see the slides at the same time. This was all being recorded, and what I ended up doing, and this is what I'm talking about in terms of being creative, again, what I decided to do, I said, well, wait a minute, if I do another launch, am I going to come across in the same way as I did the very first launch, was extremely successful. So I didn't want to change my tone. I wanted the same exact energy in another launch as I had during the very first launch. So it caused me to think about, well, how can I do that? And here it came. The answer was, you don't have to do it again, Lisa. You recorded it. Just create a Facebook event. Let people know that they are going to be looking at a pre-recorded launch. You know, do all your describing and your images and everything that you want to do so that, you know, people will still be attracted to listening to a recording, and invite as many people on Facebook as you desire to invite. And I did that, and I got an awesome turnout for people who actually went and listened to that recording that I did not have to do again because I already recorded it. So it was a brilliant idea on my part, if I do say so, that I didn't have to do another launch because I had already recorded it. So I created a Facebook event, provided the link within the Facebook event, and I left the Facebook event, because you can tell it, how long is this event going to be open for. I decided to leave the event open for 1 week, giving people as much opportunity to listen, to click on the link as possible. And free conferencing always tells you when somebody has clicked on that link. It always provides a report in your email. So these tools, guys, are incredible tools that if you are not using, you want to start using. Start small, or I don't know how comfortable everybody is with, speaking and stuff like that, but you definitely want to jump out there and start using these platforms so that you can creatively get your business out there so that people will learn who you are. My very first webinar, I believe it was a Q&A session for coaching, and I created a Facebook event. I let people know what the telephone number was, all of that. And the next thing you know, I just jumped out there. I didn't even give myself time to think about it. I created the webinar, provided a link. And again, with my the coaching, with the group coaching membership, only those who decided to become members got a copy of that launch. So no one else got a copy, just those who decided to become a member, because there was some very, very valuable information shared there. Okay, Linda. I see you, lady. Hey, then do your thing. Then get on out here and use free conferencing and SoundCloud. And, as I said, after you listen to this again, and in the beginning, you have to forgive me because I was just kind of hanging out because nobody was here. So, of course, you can fast forward and all of that. I'm sorry, what had you not thought about, Linda? What part was a good idea? Oh, yeah. That was for that particular launch. I really had to sit and think about the process, and it's something because I had to really sit and think about, every aspect of that membership and how that whole process was going to go. And I said, okay, one of the incentives to those who decide, that was part of the benefit of becoming a member that night, was actually, them signing up, and once they became a member, they got a copy of the recording, which included slides. So, when you can have access or, to that type of information over and over again, and I had the majority of my signups for that group coaching call were that night. They were that night. So even though people listened again, during the event, the majority of my signups were that night. Oh, yeah. Then you definitely want to use the free conferencing process and even SoundCloud in some creative way You can even do commercials. You know, I've used SoundCloud for like a commercial for something that like my group coaching membership. I lock the commercial now because I don't want to use it anymore, and I'm not advertising the group coaching membership. Has turned into something a lot more intimate than I could have ever imagined. So I don't advertise that like all over the place. But when I thought about doing it that way, I actually created a commercial-like recording on SoundCloud just so I could introduce people to the group coaching membership. Yes, I do know that. I do know that, C. Will. Yeah, I found that out. And you can also lock it. You can lock the SoundCloud so that only you are, you know, so you can play around with SoundCloud so that you can practice, you know, recording yourself and stuff like that, and no one ever has to see it. So you can lock it so that no one ever sees the track that you create. So that's a whole nother thing, you know. But again, if you do record on SoundCloud, if you're playing around with it in the beginning, you only get a certain amount of minutes. Now, it's a lot of minutes that you get. SoundCloud is audio only. SoundCloud is audio only. Yeah. So it's free conferencing that gives you, it was the phone, you know, the free conferencing call-in line and video share, but now they're doing video conferencing through free conferencing, which I don't know anything about yet. I only know, you know, what I've done in terms of sharing like a screen share. That was what was happening. You called into free conferencing and it was a screen share type of, you know, scenario. But now they're actually doing video conferencing through free conference call. So I can't wait to, and I'll get the link for you here. Just 1 minute. Let me get that for you, Miss Linda. And don't you just love technology? And there you go. There you go. And let me, I'll get you the link, get everybody the link to SoundCloud as well, because you might not think that it's going to be good for you, but I'm telling you, I get speaking engagements. I get my business out, and I've shared some examples with you. Better yet, I won't just share the SoundCloud link. I'm going to share my link first. How about that? So you can just look at some of the stuff that I do. I upload mastermind call. If you have any interviews, Linda, out there where people have shared an actual link with you, a MP3 of any interviews that you've done, any podcasts, anything like that, you want to upload it to SoundCloud so you can get a shareable link, and you can do descriptions and tags and all of this in SoundCloud and start to share that information all over the place. Again, if you weren't here for this, Linda, or whoever else might not have heard this, you don't want to just share your information one time. You want to share your information over and over again, but, you know, kind of get a feel and a rhythm for when to share it. Don't just share it all over the place. If you're in various groups, you know what those groups are about, or at least you should. You should be building relationships in your groups. And if you feel that you can get a vibe for the conversation that's happening in a group, or for what the priority is in that group, what the main, you know, theme and message is of a group, that's when you say, oh, wait a minute, you know, I already recorded this information over here. I have something to share. You don't have to, you know, say it over and over again. You want to go and look for what you've already recorded. I do this all the time. My email list, and by the way, on my Facebook page, and I'm going to provide that here if you guys don't mind. I know you don't mind. I know you don't. But I'm going to share my email list link, because Facebook has an app. I don't know if you guys knew this, but Facebook has an app where you can create an email link for your email list right on Facebook. So if you don't know about this tool, and it would be through your email list building product, whatever you have. I have Aweber. But watch this. If you don't have this, you want to get this too. So that's a shareable link through my Facebook business page that allows people to sign up for my email. So what I was saying about that is that I share links and stuff like that within my emails as well. If I'm talking about a specific topic and I want to drive the point home, and I know that I have a shareable link through SoundCloud, then I go and grab that link and I add that into my email. Also on Facebook, there's a notes section on Facebook where you can actually do blog posts through Facebook, through your Facebook business page. So I also share my SoundCloud, my free conferencing, my YouTube, whenever it's appropriate to, because you don't want to overwhelm people with all kinds of links so they think that the only thing you're trying to do is link them to death. That's not what this is about. This is about sharing information when it's appropriate, and valuable information at that that your list and your followers, your potential clients want to hear. So anyway, guys, I'm going to shut this down now. And if anybody doesn't have any more questions, and of course, re-listen. And thank you so much for all of the hands. I'm learning that it's hands here and it's hearts on Periscope. Thank you so much, Linda. I appreciate it. You were an awesome audience. So I thank everybody for spending this time with me. Thank you. So everybody, make it an incredible night. This is Lisa Scott, your online womenpreneur's guide to gaining clarity in life and in business, also assisting you to align your thoughts with your actions and with your desired outcomes. You can visit me on my website at www.lisascott.org or on my Facebook business page at Lisa Scott Coaching and Mentoring. Everybody have a great night. Listen to the replay. And if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me, and make it an incredible evening, everybody. Have a great night.